You are listening to part 2 of the Biohacking Brothers podcast, featuring Sandy Martin, founder of the Biohacker Expo.
And he said, well, then do that. I was like, what do you mean do that? He goes, do biohacking. I was like, what do you mean do biohacking? He goes, do a biohacking event. Like, he has to hit me over the head with it. And I'm like, oh, does that exist? Yeah. And, we've been running Comic-Cons together. And so now I say, instead of teaching people how to dress up like Batman, I'm teaching them how to be like Batman. We don't have to get sick anymore. We don't have to succumb to these things. There's so much out there that we can do.
What really surprised me about your event was the vendors that were there. Super legitimate.
I like the way Miguel says it better.
Yeah, PUFA sounds like, I don't know, like some kind of comfortable couch or something.
A PUFA is how we did our hair in the 80s.
I'm a neologizer. I invent words all the time.
Right. I think one of the most annoying things about this industry for me right now is that some of the tests that we can get done to measure our biomarkers are so complicated and based on algorithms that don't make any sense to anyone. I've had people who run companies who test for biomarkers struggle to explain their reports to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
How does the average person make sense out of anything? Yeah. It's just so far beyond the reach of regular people. But and that's, a guiding principle of mine. I want it to be within reach. Yeah. We've got MaxGen Labs as a genetic testing provider at the event this year, and I'm so happy to have them because they're testing for 20 genetic markers that are actionable and explaining how.
That's awesome.
Very great. Are the reports 120 pages long?
I hope not.
Because most of these genetic tests is overwhelming. You're looking at so many pages, almost a buck. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know where to start.
So when the $13,000 I paid day one for that functional medicine doctor I saw, one of the tests was a genetic test. We were looking to see if I have APOE4. Mm-hmm. He never told me. I still don't know.
Wow.
And I couldn't read that report. And then I went to Nebula and I tested there. I can't read that report, and it's easy to understand. They really try to, I think they might have oversimplified it, but they're not looking for, here's your risk factor for dementia, here's your risk factor. It's so overblown. And I love the data that they share, but when you share that much data, it's just like it's just like crying wolf.
Yeah. I mean, and it's so easy. I mean, it's really easy to data dump. We could do that all day long, right?
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. And so one of our struggles has been, how do we marry, obviously letting the person understand that this is very deep, it's very complicated, we understand it, and we want you to understand it, but we want to give you the shortcuts because you're not a professional. I don't expect you to spend half your life, reading these genetic reports and getting educated on it. It's like, hey, how do I pick the lowest hanging fruit, right?
And sometimes if someone's doing stuff at home on their own without the guidance of a smart clinician, they can get sent on a wild goose chase. So that happened to me when I was trying to figure out what was wrong. Somebody in my life said, it could be arsenic poisoning. And I was like, that's crazy. How do you even test for that? And he's like, well, there are heavy metals tests you can order online. So I peed in a cup and sent it in. But I didn't consider the fact that the night before I peed in the cup, I took activated charcoal. And the night before that, I ate a crab cake. And I don't know if you know, but there's arsenic in crab cakes.
Yeah.
There's what?
Arsenic in crab cakes.
And crab cakes. And crab.
Yeah. Crab.
And
so, crab and I think lobster too. Lobster or shrimp, one of those two.
And so they say it's a non-toxic, not harmful form of arsenic. I don't know about that. But what I do know is that the lab called me a few days after I sent this in and said it wasn't the company that administered the test. It was the lab they farmed it out to. That woman called me on the phone and said, I'm not supposed to call you. But you have so much arsenic in your body, you might just die.
Wow.
And have you heard of the nocebo effect?
No.
So the nocebo effect is when a thought that you could die could actually cause you to die. So the placebo effect is the opposite of the placebo effect.
It's kind of like when people are told that you may have cancer, they actually
will develop the cancer.
They'll develop it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so in that moment, I thought I was dying. I went for a jog the day before. And then the next day, because she said that to me, I was like, that's it. I've got a couple days left. That's all I got.
Wow.
And so a friend of mine sent me to a clinic in town to get chelation. They drew my blood first and told me I didn't have arsenic poisoning. It was a mistake. And so if you're not working with someone who's smart enough to ask the right questions and get some context around the test results, you don't know where it's going to take you.
Yeah. And it's funny, everything you're saying, it seems like God put this in your plate to experience this, to actually pull this Biohacker Expo off. And again, most people, we just did a podcast talking about that with the owner of a FDA lab. It's not a pharmacy, an FDA lab that really drinks the Kool-Aid and weighted 300 pounds before he opened up the practice, right? I mean, the FDA lab. So it's very cool to see that, to know that behind this conference, the individual actually went through hell and truly understood the traditional medicine versus biohacking and alternative forms of medicine like orthomolecular medicine, etc. And to actually have prevailed and not fall into the nocebo. I love that word. I'm going to start using it from now on. Because 80% of people's diseases can be more psychosomatic or, developed through because of psychosomatic reasons more than anything else. My point is that it seems like this is really part of your journey and that you were meant to do this thing. And are you the first woman to do this? Because what we've realized, this is a male-dominated industry, and we need more women dominating and speaking up and, leading the way. So to have a woman doing this is awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I would say that Robin Switzer is a predecessor of mine. She runs Hack Your Health. It's been moved to Tampa out of Austin. It was KetoCon before that. So she's been running that for a long time. And Sarah Glenn with Dragonfly was running events before me.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh, hey, listen, you're still one of the pioneers.
You're the third one. Hey, 1, 2, 3, strike out. You're the last one.
Well, and to kind of echo what Miguel was saying, and I can't emphasize this enough that, it seems like, like the universe put this on your plate for you to kind of bring an answer to a lot of people who may be in a similar situation or just want to get better and just want to find healing. But I cannot emphasize enough, this is not like losing 100 pounds. This is not
this is harder than losing 100 pounds.
This is not like overcoming some kind of just random infection or like mold in the brain can easily kill you and destroy your life, like fast. Right. And for you to overcome it, I mean, that just speaks of your power and the blessing that you have. And so thank you. I'm kind of grateful that it happened to you because then you created this amazing thing that will help, hopefully hundreds and thousands of people.
It's already helping people.
Yeah.
The fact that she went through that, it's already changing lives. Just with the first one you've done, it's already changed lives, period. If you created awareness in one more individual, and that guy went home or girl went home and created more awareness, you've done your job, but you're doing it with the masses. So kudos to you on that. For real.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're super excited to be a part of it, man. So thank you for obviously having us and believing in us. And we can't wait to...
we're going to rock up the house, baby.
We're preparing for it. We're just for you guys who don't know, Sandy allowed us to open the show. And so we're going to bring a lot of energy to the room and talk a little bit about these things that like when people call us and we do HRT, we do peptides, we do, there's a ton of things that we do. But every time somebody new calls us, right, I always tell them, like, look, we can spend days, weeks, years on biohacking strategies and fasting and weightlifting and all the stuff that we do. But none of that stuff even matters if you are not aware of the two things that every single human being on this planet is being subjected to and affected that if we don't as a medical practice, if we don't aggressively account for these things for you, then we are not an optimization clinic. And those two things are very simple. Number one, endocrine disrupting chemicals, which we know and you know are everywhere. I mean, the stuff that we're putting on our skin, we're absorbing it through shampoo, soap, nail polish, sunblock. I mean, it's just endless. It's ridiculous. The stuff we're putting on our... Can I make a confession? Yeah.
I've been working so hard to get EDCs out of my life since your presentation this past February. And this week, I realized my shampoo from Whole Foods had phthalates in it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a brand that, you know, and that was, you know, the part of the when I spoke last year with Dr. Rudy was vote with your wallet, like support companies that are doing the right thing. Now, you're going to have to do the research. You're going to have to read labels, like it's part of the lifestyle. But if you don't aggressively account for EDCs, right, which we're absorbing through our skin, like I said, we're drinking in our water supply. So we've talked, you and I have many conversations about what kind of water filter to buy,
what the container is.
What the container is, the plastics, all that stuff, all the stuff that's in our water supply, it's in our food. You know, science is now saying that we're eating about a credit card's worth of plastic a week. I mean, imagine this, right? And then, like you are inhaling it through air particulates, which not necessarily has to be mold or paint. It could be in your air vents through, plastic particulates that you're inhaling, right? It's in your sofas. It's in clothes. They're finding it in clothes now, right? So this stuff is everywhere. And if you're not at least aware of this, I mean, I could give you all the HRT in the world, but it doesn't matter because you're walking around being poisoned all day. So that's number one. I'm sorry, you're going to say so. No. And the second, which is almost scarier, is the nutrient deficiencies that we have suffered worldwide, right? 80% of micronutrient loss in the soils all over the planet. That means that when our cells, who are trying to fight these invaders, which, by the way, they weren't engineered to process because 98% of these chemicals weren't even around 40 years ago. So from an evolutionary perspective, this is brand new to us. And then on the other side, when they're trying to show up, they have these nutrient deficiencies. They're undersupported and underwhelmed. So if you don't take account for these, you're shit out of luck.
Have you tested Million Marker, the urine test?
Mm-mm.
Sandy? Okay, that's an easy test that you can. So Million Marker, you can go right now online, order it. It's a urine test. I would recommend you to get, it's like $500 with a consultation. Actually, you don't even need the consultation. Knowing how much you research, you just need the test. It's like $250, and it tells you everything that has. So they test for BPA, they test for phthalates, they test for parabens. What is the other one? Fragrances, PFAS, and oxybenzo. So the PFAS, PFAS, you have...
I like the way Miguel says it better.
Yeah, PFAS sounds like, I don't know, like some kind of comfortable, couch or something.
A PUFA is how we did it here in the 80s.
I'm a neologizer. I invent words all the time, so I like PFAS. Okay, look it up, neologizer. I make my own words. So PFAS are in cookware. Parabens are in hair and cosmetic products, as well as phthalates, BPA if you're drinking out of any plastic, and oxybenzone. These are mainstream chemicals that we're exposed to. What I like about this company is that you can literally make the changes, and within 4 days, I just say to people, do a week to be in case, but to be on the safe side, but they say within 3 to 4 days, all those chemicals will go back to baseline if you get rid of them.
Yeah. So hi. At MHI, we recognize the transformative benefits of red light therapy for detoxification, circulation, and overall wellness.
So after extensive research and testing, we're thrilled to present our top red light therapy recommendations: Sauna Space and BioLight. These two companies offer state-of-the-art red light, infrared saunas, and desk lamps that provide deep relaxation, promote recovery, and rejuvenate your body by keeping healthy circadian rhythms.
Go to the MHI Recommend section on our website to learn more about red light and near infrared. Don't forget to use our exclusive discount code to save on your purchase and enhance your wellness journey with the leading providers in red light therapy. So for now, stay healthy and God bless.
Well, let's just talk about that for a moment, because our bodies are the most magnificent
amazing
pharmacies for healing. that like if we just get out of
the way,
then this God-given physiology can create the most powerful thing, like with the energy and the drive and the motivation that is part of our nature. We're just covering that up with all of this shit, the sugar and the chemicals, and it's all just blocking our God-given innate power.
100%. So that's what I said. That's why when someone calls us, hey, I want testosterone. Hold on a second. Let's not even talk about testosterone. Let's talk about EDCs and nutrient deficiencies first. Let me just make you aware of them, because every recommendation that we're going to make is going to be founded on the fact that you are exposed to these things, and we're going to teach you how to mitigate them, so you can have a successful life.
Yeah, like, we're obviously promoted as a testosterone hormone clinic. I mean, we're so much more than that at this point. But people call us and come for that, right? And if you came to us and I'm like, hey, how about you start with this urine test and get rid of these toxins? Most people want that quick pill, quick fix. Let's go. I want results now. Rather than doing the hard work, which takes patience. It takes
time.
Learning. Like, you got to really invest. You got to become your best investigator of your own health in order to be in control of your health. And most people don't want that. They just want somebody to tell them what to do. That's kind of where we're at, but we don't like to just tell you, like, we don't want you to just follow instructions. No. We want you to understand why you're doing the things that we're doing. We are guiding you, but you are walking the journey. And my job, I always tell clients, I'm like, listen, I know this was overwhelming for you, these 8 molecules that I just explained to you, but just as you're taking them, send me a picture and be like, what does this do again? Or, I don't know, you can use ChatGPT today and get an even better response that I can, and I'll just kind of help you realize, no, that's BS, or this is real, right? But there's no excuse today for not self-educating and taking health into your own control and into your own responsibility, right? And I think that, once again, with the AI stuff, literally, you can grab your blood work now, plug it into ChatGPT before and after, and it'll spit out a phenomenal answer with reference ranges better than almost many doctors can do. So I'm not saying that's going to replace doctors, but at least you can do that. And then when you get to your consultation, you're much more informed. You're not just sitting there listening to a doctor and taking whatever he tells you. Now you actually come powered, right?
Case in point, I have a friend who got diagnosed with colitis, asked me what I thought about his doctor's recommendation that he consume more fiber. And I said, absolutely not. You're going to go carnivore. We're going to heal your gut. You're going to take these digestive enzymes, and then we're going to run a GI map to see what's really going on. Because I asked him if he knew if there was any bacteria or if there were parasites or anything. And he's like, no, we didn't test for any of that. I was like, oh, so you just got a recommendation to eat more fiber? Oh, that's nice. Thanks, doc. And so he went to, so I used one of my doctors to get him the test, and then he took it, got the results, turned out that it warranted a further look at his gallbladder and his liver. And then with that information, he took it to his GP who ordered the tests. But he would have never been examined for those things if it wasn't for this. And he did get better. He's, 3 weeks on the diet, he'd lost 15 pounds. And he was feeling tons better, and he was not suffering for the symptoms of colitis anymore.
Wow. It's funny you say that. Just like when people tell me, oh, no, I'm taking a probiotic, I'm like, that's the most reckless thing you can tell me. How do you know you're not over-proliferating that bacteria? Although it may be good, you might be overpopulating that bacteria, and it's causing gut dysbiosis, which is the very thing you're trying to get rid of. So when we approach the gut, and we have a chapter in that in our book where we're explaining we have about 20 to 25,000 genes, but we code for over 3 million genes within the gut. We are 10 times more bacteria than we are cells, and we're within 1 minute you produce over 1,000 different pharmaceutical chemicals. We're a pharmacy producing compounding machine, and most of these compounds are being produced by your gut. So it's very important that those microbes are actually balanced. And the only way to truly heal a gut and to properly assess if you need a probiotic or a sporobiotic or Akkermansia or whatever you want to take, you need to go to through a gut specialist and actually see what the hell's going on. It's the same thing as we do biochemically. We lift the hood and we see your hormonal state. Well, we got to look at the microbe state of your gut, which is one of the hallmarks of aging, right?
And I think it goes back to your original sort of aha moment, or like eureka, where you were like, let me ask a better question. Let me not just take what this doctor is giving me. And again, I'm not trying to shit on doctors. Doctors usually get into it for the right reasons. But it's about not being someone who just does what they're told, but we want you to become your own chief medical officer. Yeah. Like, we want you to be a powerhouse of decision making for your own health. Of course, ask professionals, get a first, second, third opinion. And we always challenge our patients. I'm like, look, there's two ways we could do this. You could either do what we tell you, and because I'm going to avoid you a lot of, I'm going to save you a lot of time. I'm going to save you a lot of headaches, and I'm definitely going to save you a lot of money. But I challenge you to always question me along the way. Or we go the hard way, and you could ask every question. I could send you all the data because we've done all the research, and we have libraries of libraries to send you, and we could go down that path. You choose.
How many times have you heard someone say, I saw 3 doctors and they all tell me to do something different?
Yeah.
And 3 doctors within the same industry will give you 3 different recommendations depending on the expertise level and what they feel comfortable with, right? We see that all the time. That's why I can tell a lot of times the expertise of the doctor based on the blood work they're doing, because depending on how extensive it is, it says a lot about what they're looking at, right? Or they lack enough information to know what to look for, or they just don't want to take responsibility because whatever they test for, they're liable for.
They have to explain.
Right. Right. And as you said, some people don't know how to explain this stuff or document it properly.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And Sandy, what is next for? By the way, I just love the fact everything we're talking about, because it just lets me know even more. It gives me more trust that in the future, all the vendors at your event are always going to be curated to
be the best.
Get out the BS from what actually works, because you're really looking at what you're bringing to your event. In other words, the vendors and the event are a reflection of you.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you're the one putting it together. So that's exciting. What's next for Biohacker Expo?
Well, the next event is February 28th to March 1st. So there's that.
When I mean next, what is the vision of Biohacker Expo? Where do you want to go with it?
Yeah.
Well, yes. I will say at this event,
Beyond. Look, she just said
one of the newest things.
Biohacking Brothers and Beyond. Look.
Before
give me the Beyond.
I'd like to say that dogs are welcome this year. And we're
where are my babies? Where are my babies? Lily? I got one over here, and she's on testosterone therapy. She's on peptide. She's on bioregulators.
Listen, Miguel's dogs take more stuff than the average American. Okay? I mean, these things take NMN. They take what's it called? The electrolytes. They take hormone therapy.
They're on Quinton hypertonic. They're on 300 milligrams of nicotinamide nucleotide, 300 milligrams of resveratrol,
nitric oxide,
nitrate-based, liquid bile cell. I mean, not liquid bile cell.
Collagen.
Liquid magnesium, a multivitamin, omegas. They're on 10 milligrams of testosterone. And a little deca for her because she has a hip, distended hip. They are on ATP bioregulators and anti-inflammatory bioregulators.
Did you hear this stuff? Like, I don't know biohackers that are taking this.
They do red light, and they do Juvent. You know, from Peter Simonson, the Juvent micro-implant plate that builds osteoblasts.
Yeah.
All right, so every time you walk, there's a certain G-force so the way bone regenerates is through impact. Very soft impact, 0.3 G-forces. So he has a platform that I sit with her every day, and she already goes by herself. She sits, and she knows 20 minutes, baby. And it builds up her bone density. I promise you, my dogs are going to live to 30 years of age. The reason why they die so early is because you go eat their dog food. It's all dehydrated, burnt out protein that doesn't have any nutrients. That's why I started reading about it. I'm like, I got to feed my dogs real food, right?
So
you got another one back there?
Yeah. So hopefully what's for Biohacking and Beyond for us is we're going to have a pet department running pretty soon.
That's fair.
Look, I got to show her that. It's funny you say that.
Come here.
So
Look. Hey, this is proof in the pudding. I want you to see this. This is proof. Wait, sorry.
I can't see it. Oh, look
The
at the
pet
babies.
department. Because talk about women are underserved. Dogs are even more underserved.
Yeah.
They can't talk. And it's so wild west out there that I looked at the research, and I promise you, the moment I got my dogs on testosterone therapy, life changing.
Oh, they changed. Yeah. Their personality. Yeah, their personality.
I think he
Even
did that for his dog.
even the color on their coating changed. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I may only have one 25-minute speaking slot left, but maybe you want to tell the story about how you take care of your animals?
okay.
Hey, I'm open to talking about my animal. I mean, I'm not a veterinarian, but I can tell you they're phenomenal. I'll go on stage with my
How
dog
you
too.
biohack your pets?
We could do that.
I would love to do that. And I'll bring the dogs and they'll come on stage with me.
We'll put them on the microplate.
Yeah, while they sit there, I have no problem.
All right.
All right, I like that.
Well,
All right,
Sandy,
so if anyone wants to meet Miguel's dogs, come to the show.
Yeah, let's do it, baby.
yeah. So, I mean, listen, thank you so much. What an incredible journey you've had. We honor you. We're proud of you.
Yes,
So, we
proud.
thank you for not only putting this event together for the masses and for people, obviously bringing us on. And we're just excited to continue to collaborate with you in Beyond in the future and all the things that you're going to do. And we're here to support you in any way that you need us to. Anything you want to say to the listeners as a recap or just some final thoughts?
Can I give my one tip, my personal Beyond?
Please.
Go.
I chant Om for 3 minutes at a time before meetings, before bed, before anything stressful. And that will take my HRV, which is generally in the toilet. It's usually about 30, and take it up to 70 in 3 minutes.
No, wait, let's do that right now. Come on, walk me through
Wow.
it. 70 from 30 to 70, that's a 40 increase score. Let's go. Come on.
So how do you sit in silence with your eyes closed?
3 ohms instead of 3 minutes.
Okay.
But we're going to breathe in for 6 seconds and Om out for 6 seconds. All right, you ready? Breathe in.
Wow.
Don't you feel better?
That was awesome.
Actually, in fact, I can hear the frequency.
Yeah. It matched. It matched.
It was synchronized. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
You should have heard it in here. It resonated beautifully. It's amazing. Thank you for that tip.
By the way, you want to know my tip?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna stack things on top. So we use the pulsatile, which stimulates the vagus nerve, calms. It's all about calming the central nervous system, right? And I'll drink some molecular hydrogen right before a meeting because it gets rid of all that oxidative stress. So it literally gets rid of the mental fog. You especially that you had mold.
Yeah.
Molecular hydrogen hand selective, intuitively selectively picks which reactive oxygen species are harmful because we need some reactive oxygen species. So it literally selects which ones are the bad ones and cleans out the system. It's incredible.
We're actually interviewing the geek of this stuff tomorrow.
Tyler LeBron.
So we'll send it to you.
You know who Tyler LeBron is? Oh, I gotta type up Tyler LeBron. He has the most amount of research, and it's called Medical Hydrogen Institute, MHI. Like
he gave the research to Robert Slovak, who brought the Aqua True and the reverse osmosis.
No, he was the first one to make the molecular hydrogen tablets.
And when he read the research, he's like, we have to make this. So
the research behind molecular hydrogen is mind-blowing. So I can get you in touch with him. Maybe we can have him go.
Yeah.
All right?
So once again, Sandy, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to joining you. For everybody listening, Sandy will be hosting us. Maybe Miguel even talking about his dogs in Biohacker Expo, February 28th to the 31st. Go on to their website, get a ticket. You will not regret it. The vendors there are some of the best in the world. So we hope that you join us and that you take biohacking to the next level and beyond. So for now, we hope you stay healthy.
And God bless.